solving single-step equations in algebra, that is just the beginning of a whole bunch of different types of solving. And now is the time to get in really good habits. And one of those good habits is checking your solution. And I don't mean just doing it mentally. I mean actually checking your solution on paper. So we've got -2 equals 3 plus x. Let's say that that was the original equation. You were asked to solve it, and you came up with x equals -1. One of the traps I see a lot of students fall into when you start solving single-step equations is the equations aren't that complex. And so a lot of students either can do them in their heads or they do them in their heads, and they're really confident in that, and most of the time they get them right. However, not always. And this is why you have to start now checking your solutions by substituting back in. And if you don't do this when you get to more complex equations that you can't do in your head, you're just not going to be in that habit, and you're going to think of it as an extra step that it really isn't necessary. But it is. So let's check our solution here of x equals -1. And the way I check is by rewriting the original equation, and wherever my variable is, and here we only have it in one spot, I'm going to replace it with my answer. So we've got -2 is equal to on the right-hand side, 3 plus -1 is +2. Notice, those are not the same. So by checking my answer, I told myself, wait a minute, I need to go back and fix my mistake. Let's go through a full example, and then I'll show you what I mean by checking. So here we have example 1. It says solve. Notice it does not say solve and check your answer. That's just something that's implied. When it says solve, your teacher's just hoping that you're going to solve it, show your work, and then go and check your answer. We have 1/3 times a equals 7. I could use the multiplicative inverse here and multiply by 3 divided by 1 on both sides of that equation. And 3 divided by 1 times 3 is just 1. I can write in my equivalent form of 1. A is equal to 7 times 3. I could write the denominator there if I wanted to. 7 times 3 is 21. Divided by 1 is still 21. So my answer is A equals 21. A lot of students here would just look at that eyeball and say, oh yeah, 1/3 of 21 is 7. But again, this is a moment where we're trying to develop good habits. So I'm going to rewrite this equation. And in place of where my variable was, I'm going to write parentheses. And I'm going to say, okay, I think the answer here is 1/3 times 21 is 7. I have 7 equals 7. That is a true statement. So I know A equals 21 is my correct answer. Check your solution on paper, not just in your head, every time you are asked to solve for a variable.